Guys, we're gonna jump straight to it. As you can see, remember the competition that you guys saw me work for? I ended up getting gold at the competition. That's not all. I also ended up getting best female weightlifter of the competition. Super cool. Huska Weightlifting, the Rock Open. It was really an amazing competition. And I want to share with you guys how I got back to the platform lifting big weights postpartum. If most of you know my story, I had 2 babies back to back. I'm now currently 1 year postpartum for my second baby. My babies were born really close together. I ended up having also 2 C-sections with both of them. They are exactly a year and a half apart. So I had my 2 under 2. And I just said to myself, I want to get back to weightlifting. I want to get back to lifting bigger weights. I had a plan, I had a goal, and I made it work. I was very smart with my programming, with how I built up. I was also very smart with focusing on my recovery postpartum so that I can get myself to a position to do heavy weightlifting again, get stronger, and then ultimately do a really good total at this competition. But that's not all. You guys also know 4 weeks prior to this, I competed in the CrossFit qualifiers, and that was a 2-week in a row event. We had to do 6 workouts, and that was basically, that was a hard time because I was training CrossFit and weightlifting at the same time. Most of the time I would follow the CrossFit workouts from the CrossFit gym, but with my weightlifting training, I did my own programming. So I had to be really smart with my programming. And that's also what I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. I also, during that time, ended up with a cyst on my ovary that ended up rupturing. So exactly 5 weeks ago from the competition, I ended up in the ER with a ruptured cyst. It was not fun. It was extremely painful. And I didn't actually know what my competitions looked like. I didn't know if I was going to be able to compete in the CrossFit qualifiers. I didn't know if I was going to be able to compete in this weightlifting competition. And honestly, it affected me a lot because I trained really hard for both. And I didn't want to disappoint myself. But I also really quickly changed my mindset and realized that the fact that I am back doing what I love and I'm happy, I'm training, I have my 2 kids with me almost at every single workout. They see me work out, they see me grind, they see me be a better mom for them. I should have just been a bit smarter with listening to my body. And that's one thing that the athlete in me really sometimes battle with, because I really push super hard. But I wanted to push really hard in my weightlifting, in my CrossFit, and also being a really good mom. So I didn't give my body much grace. I was just grinding all the time, and I needed to make sure that I'm there for my kiddies as well. And that's ultimately what led to me having a lot of pain and then having the cyst rupture. But I did work closely with my OB. She did give me the go-ahead to end up doing the CrossFit competition. She did give me the go-ahead to do my weightlifting competition. And I did end up doing really well. We ended up qualifying for the fittest game, also called the fittest experience, which will be in January. And then the same with this weightlifting competition, qualified for Texas State Championships. Not quite sure if I'm going to do that one yet, because the training for the fittest games or fittest experience is really hard, but that will be for another video. This video is all about building up to my competition. But ultimately, guys, it was an amazing day. I had my 2 kids there. Again, I had my husband there. It was a really long day. I want to take you guys through the day as well, and then also just share with you an amazing moment. So on game day itself, I woke up that morning. With weightlifting, how it works is you go for your weigh-in, you have 2 hours, and then you start competing. Now my weigh-in was 8 a.m. in the morning. So I had to get up really early, get ready. I did make sure the night before everything was packed. And we were there literally from before 8 in the morning until about 4 p.m., close to 5 p.m. So it was a full day, not just for us, but the hardest was obviously for the kids as well, because nap times were interrupted. We had to make sure, obviously, we had all their milk, their snacks, all of those kind of things. And then on top of that, we had to obviously make sure we had our stuff as well, like our competition gear, our snacks, our hydration things, all of those kind of stuff. So it took a lot of planning, but it ended up being just amazing. That morning I woke up around 6 a.m. I had a really big bowl of oats and honey because my weight was really low. Competed under 63, ended up weighing in 61, and that was after having oats, coffee, drinking some carbs in the morning as well, and just like fueling myself, which was really nice to go into a competition not having to cut. And the same with James as well. He went into it, he didn't have to cut or anything like that, so there was no cutting pressure. It was more just eating enough to make sure that we've got the energy for game day. Got to the competition, weighed in, weight was great. Obviously, then my competition started at 10, but there were 16 girls in my class, which means we had to wait a really long time. I was the last one to go up. With snatches, I think there were one or two, or there was one girl that I was like, I think I had one or two snatches. It was back to back. And then with clean and jerks, I was basically following myself the whole time. And also the weights I did, 65 snatch, 90 clean and jerk. And it felt really good. I am so happy. Ended up hitting a nice PR as well in my clean and jerk. Because my training PR was 85 kgs, ended up with 90 kgs. And I felt like I still have a lot more in the tank, and that's really nice. So I went into competition with a very happy feeling, a very content feeling. If a lot of you have been following me for a long time, I've been doing Olympic weightlifting for 20 years. But then when I was pregnant with Mia, just before that, I decided to retire. So it wasn't until I was pregnant with Odin that I decided to pick a barbell up again. And it took a lot, because most of you, my biggest identity was weightlifting. And I've been doing it my whole life. But towards the end, with Olympic qualifiers and just everything that was going on, the sport just became not a happy place for me. The team cohesion wasn't good. The amount of funding we had to fund ourselves, that wasn't good. I would win medals at international events, and funding was just extremely poor or little or nothing at all. It took a lot of my mental power, but then also financially as well. So it was just a really tough time. I was also a part of the IWF Athletes Commission at that time, and I don't know, I lost a lot of love for the sport because of everything that went on. So yeah, there was a lot of corruption, there was a lot of things that I did not agree with, and just a lot of things that gave me a sour taste in my mouth, because I love the sport so much, but I'm also an advocate for doing things the right way. And that's also why in the IWF Athletes Commission, that was one of my big things, is I wanted to pave the way, and there were quite a few of us, we wanted to pave the way for the generations to come, for the younger athletes. At that time, obviously with me retiring from weightlifting, I was like, I don't even want my kids to one day do this sport, which is sad because I loved it so much. But I'm also really glad that throughout that time, finding a weightlifting community here in the USA, which I am forever grateful for, feels like second home. James and I love going there. The kids are welcome there. And basically, he was just a couple of months old, and I got back into the weightlifting gym, and he was there. Mia was there playing. I really love how they've welcomed not just me and James, but the whole family as a whole, and how they've encouraged us as well. So that's one of the main reasons why I feel like I got my community back. I feel like I got this amazing little new weightlifting family that has just been the best. The other team I had that I really loved was Pretorius Weightlifting, that I want to give a shout out to. They were in New Zealand, very similar. Pretorius Weightlifting was like a family to me. The athletes was amazing, the community, just how they would do things. It was just so good. It was a hard time for me mentally and physically. After, like I said, I got pregnant with Odin, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to pick a barbell up. As soon as Odin's born, I am going to start back with my weightlifting. I'm going to be training towards, I didn't know what at the time, and at this competition, which would have fallen perfectly with me being like 1 year postpartum, and ended up doing it. And like I saw was a success. I think I told you guys this before as well, but like program for myself, I had to be really smart with training going into this competition. I had to make sure that I don't over push, but I also had to make sure that I'm pushing myself enough to actually have a type of a stimulus so that I can grow and get stronger. And it just worked out really well. From the beginning, I had this plan to clean and jerk 90. Actually, I think it was like 65, funny enough. So I feel like I had the 65, 90, like that's my goal to do. And I ended up doing those exact weights. When I did them, they were actually really easy. So I feel like there's quite a bit more in the tank. I'm excited to step back on stage again. But firstly, now I'm working towards, obviously, the fittest experience. Will be in January. So that's going to be taking a lot of my time and my energy. Leading into this competition, mentally, it was just it came together. Physically, it all came together. My recovery, like my week, that just worked out so well. But as a parent and with 2 little kids under the age of 3, it definitely takes managing. It can be done, but you have to be smart with training. You have to be smart with recovery, and you also have to be smart with outcomes or expectations. Into this competition, there were a lot of days where sleeping was non-existent. There was a lot of stress. Managing the 2 little ones is hard. Mia started school only close to the end of September. And that was definitely, up until then, it was super challenging as well. And Mia's only going to school twice a week now. So it's only from 9 till 2 that she's at the school. And those 2 days are also days that I go to the weightlifting gym. And obviously we take Odin, and Odin is fully mobile now. He's walking. He's, this growing personality is just so amazing. So it definitely is a lot more hard work now, because I have to be also so intent and involved with like Mia and Odin. And that's obviously my main priority. And then, my kids, my husband, main priority. And then after that, obviously my training. And I also know that if I train really well and I train hard, it makes me a better mom and partner as well. But I also didn't want to train that hard that I would feel broken all the time, that it would take away from me being a good mom. So it really was a fine line. It really took a lot of fine tuning with my training. It took a lot of fine tuning with making sure that, I'm eating enough. And when I felt like my recovery wasn't well, I had to obviously take a step back and just lower my intensity a bit in training. And it worked. I mean, it took my years of experience as a coach plus an athlete, and I just kind of put them together, and that's how I worked my way up to doing this competition and doing my 65 kgs, 90 clean and jerk, getting my gold medal. And it was amazing. But to tell you guys, that wasn't even the best part. The best day, or the best part of that day and of my whole sporting career, and I'll put the little video up here for you guys to see, was having Mia cheer for me while I was competing. It makes me feel emotional every single time I think about it. She was in the crowd. My friend videoed it. She was sitting there, so her little friend was there for a little while. And Mia literally had a sign up that said, "Go Mama." And when I got my lift, Mia showed so much emotion and happiness and clapping, and just her understanding of Mama just did something big was just out of this world. I'm like, how does a 2-year-old know how to do this? This was the best thing ever. And she didn't just do it because everyone else, she was genuinely so involved and invested. This medal over here, that's become her medal. So she calls it her metal. So this is her metal. She even packed it in her school bag for her teachers to show. It was so cute. But yeah, that nothing compares to having your kids there, watching you, seeing you achieve great things. It just makes all the hard work so worth it. She is seeing her mama working towards a goal and achieving it. She is seeing her mama work hard. She's seeing her mama grind. And then she sees her mama achieve what she puts her mind to. And I want to be that for Mia and Odin. I want to be a great role model for them. I want to be their support system. And most of all, I want to show them that when you put your mind to something or towards something, you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. But guys, that's a recap of today. You guys also know that if you did want to join my program, you can go down to the link below. In our description, I do have our app link there. I am thinking of taking one-on-one clients again. So it's definitely a thought, something I'm playing around with. So it will obviously be online coaching. I've kind of just like sent all my athletes to the app. But lately I've been wanting to maybe get involved more with my one-on-ones. So if you do want to do it, you can also send me an email, or you can just, send me a DM on my Instagram or wherever, or on our Live Big, Eat Big Instagram page. And yeah, all our links are in the description. We will keep you guys updated for up and coming competitions. Obviously, most important is give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, because you do help us by doing so. You help us grow, but then you also, the support that we are getting from you guys is immensely important for us to be able to put more good content out there for you guys. But yeah, wouldn't have done it without you guys. Couldn't have done it without my amazing family. And I just, want to say thank you to you guys, and I appreciate you all, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye.